That's
We're gonna BackTalk now. We're gonna BackTalk now. We gotta BackTalk now.
That was like a cross between like a goblin and Jawa. That was like really into his metal.
What is a Jawa? I know it's a Star Wars thing, but I don't remember which one that is.
It's the little dudes in episode 4
the first one.
that take R2D2 and C3PO
Oh,
into
like
their
the
big
scrap
sand
dealer
crawler.
dudes.
Yeah, the scrap dealers.
Do they speak?
Otini! Yes.
Yeah, that like.
They're like
Kind of
clicks.
just like do weird sounds. Okay.
Yeah.
If there's one thing about Star Wars that they never explain is that apparently everyone in that universe pretty much understands almost every language. Pretty
Except
well.
when they don't, it's almost jarring when someone goes, "Wait, what did he say?" And you're like, "Wait, I thought everybody spoke everything."
Like almost everyone understands Wookiee.
Yeah. Well, I
yeah,
do.
because they're Wookiees. You got it.
It's a class
I
you take
agree.
in school.
I agree.
All right. Hey, folks, welcome to BackTalk.
Hello.
This is the first of 3 live videos we're doing today. In a couple hours, we'll be doing our top 10 games from 20 years ago and 21 years ago.
That's going to have a lot of disclaimers on it. For me, at least.
Oh.
For example, all the games I picked are actually from last year.
No.
And then at 2 o'clock, we'll be doing crowd surfing, taking a look at what's on Kickstarter. So, this is the BackTalk of the week. I don't know what I was about to say there.
This is the
Neither do
BackTalk of
I.
the week. I think you said it.
So today we're taking discussion topics from you all. So if you have something you'd like to see us talk about, here's your chance. Ask it in the comments, and we'll try to expound on it and go deeper, unless it's a really simple question, in which case we'll pretend to make it deeper.
Like I'm doing with every other question. Got it. Stick with the plan.
Status quo.
Got it. I like that.
So we're getting this week. We're preparing. The Dice Tower Cruise is launching on Saturday. Feels like I keep saying Friday, but it's just like when I leave.
You got to start.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it is actually launching. Yes.
Yeah. And then the Dice Tower Kickstarter is coming up on the 21st. So we're like working on both of those things simultaneously, which is super fun.
Awesome.
So
It's
yeah.
great.
Well, we got a lot of games ready. I played some pretty bad games last night, and Space Base, which was a good game. And I was showing Zee one of the worst games ever.
Did you get the expansion for Space Base? Or you just played
No. What happened was I got to the gaming thing late, and Melody and Kenneth were playing a new guy, and he suddenly just had to go. And I was like,
Like in the middle of a game.
I slid in, yeah. So I slid in and took a spot. And then I started doing awesome and lost.
Space Base is what that was.
Yeah.
Okay.
Would you guys rather play Terraforming Mars or Wingspan? Look, with all due respect to Rado, in this case, I have no idea what he's talking about. They're not even. I don't find them a little similar at all, really. They both are engine building games, and that's about the extent of their similarities.
What I think you should do is play Terraforming Mars with all of the expansions at the same time.
Is that bad?
I would do it.
If you want a 4-hour game of Terraforming Mars, yeah, go for it.
I don't think it would take 4 hours. I know yours did, but I'm saying you had new people
It
though.
did.
But
I know,
you
we
should
had two
never play all the.
They were both savvy gamers, though. They weren't like, newbies or anything like that. They were both very savvy gamers, but yeah, that was. Oh my goodness.
We're not getting any good discussion topics yet, but can we give any spoilers for the promos we have for Kickstarter? We can show one of the things off.
Yeah, they're on Kenny's desk. Well, tell Derek to go get it. Can you do that?
Yeah, those are pretty cool. We'll show those off. We got a lot of stuff we're working on.
What am I grabbing?
It's on. Come on, Ken.
He just goes over to Kenny's desk. Okay, I'll pick it up.
We get the computer. We're like, wait, what?
Hey,
I brought Kenny's backpack.
iPad for everyone.
Okay, well, let me ask you guys this.
Oh boy, here
What
we go.
kind of trend have you noticed in this year or the last year that you're hoping is going to continue in 2019?
Oh, I was ready to answer the other way.
That you would.
Okay, what kind of trend have you noticed in 2019 that you're hoping
Stop.
retroactively is added into 2018 and last year?
All right, so we have some. Here, I'll let you show them off since you designed
Well,
them.
answer my question, son.
Okay, real quickly. No, the one I like. I think we have enough roll and write games at this point.
What? You know what you need to do? You need to slow down and play.
Ooh. But that doesn't mean play slowly.
Oh, just slow down, enjoy yourself.
That's right.
Easy like Sunday morning.
Got it. I'm trying to think what else I'm going to say. You're going to show the thing.
Gaming forever.
It's a kitty cat. There's a cat trying to break in here, it sounds like. Oh, this is Sam's.
What is it?
Cooperation is a myth.
This is true, especially if Zee's playing.
I'm just out to win from me. We got that one. Monday critical miss. Look,
That's the one with the
yeah. Mondays are rough, y'all.
cow's laying on his side.
And then lastly, this one.
Rolling dice and taking mains.
That's my kid's favorite of all of them.
Yeah, rolling dice and taking mains.
Yeah.
All right, there you go.
Okay, let's see. Tom, you said your Comanauts review was coming out last week, but never did. Did something happen? Yeah, I decided I needed some more time before I reviewed it, so it's just going to be delayed a couple weeks. Sam and here's one that people ask: do you find some games' popularity inexplicable? Like, I mean, obviously there's a game I don't like, but I can understand why people do like it. Like, is there a game that you're surprised that's popular? Like Cards Against Humanity. I don't find the idea of that game attractive at all, but I understand why people like it.
Right.
People's
Is there a
minds
game
are in
that-
the gutter, right? Yeah.
Huh?
People's minds are in the gutter. That's why.
Well, I get that. I'm just saying, is there a game that you think that you find
For
it
me,
odd
usually what does that is a party game that's a pretty sort of basic idea for a party game, yet gets embraced like it's not. Like it's something that's been around for a
like
while.
Dixit almost?
Dixit I thought was
Codenames?
fairly original.
Happy
Codenames is a
Santa.
pretty standard kind of word game. I don't know, and there seems to be a correlation between who the designer is and the people that like it. You know what I mean? Like if Joe Schmo comes out with some 20 questions variant, no one cares. People kind of turn up their noses at that. But Reiner Knizia does it, and it's a good game.
Yeah. Well, even kids' games can fall in that category. I remember this was like 15 years ago, or maybe even 20 years ago. Looping Louie, people were like, "This game's amazing."
Yeah, that's ridiculous. Yeah.
And it's a ridiculous, stupid game, and I have fun playing it. But there are a lot of kids' games that fall in that exact same category.
Yes.
That, like, what's the one you like with the bear?
I forget what it's called, but yeah, the bear stacking game. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's not that great of a game, but that one didn't make it.
Just a basic, dexterity game. But that one kind of getting overlooked is weird to me when other people will play, some other stacking game that's clearly also for kids. But, Rhino Hero Super Battle or whatever. Grown-ups play that, and they're like, "Oh, this game! I need this game. This game's amazing." There are 80 other games that do basically the same thing, but that one gets accepted.
I don't know what it is that makes one game suddenly rise above in those categories.
I don't know. Groupthink a little bit, maybe.
Yeah, if you have a group of people that really enjoy a game and they're very serious about proselytizing people for that game, that's how the hype train starts.
Choo choo, baby.
So yeah, there are a lot of games out there that I don't understand why people like them, but I would imagine more often than not it's just because I don't like them and I can't understand why other people do.
Yeah, of course.
But there are games that I can understand why people like them. I just don't like them.
But the opposite is very, very true for me. I know lots of games I like, and I totally get why most people don't like them.
Sure.
I think most people's favorite game, not everyone, but there is sort of a sweet spot. If you look at anyone's like top 50 games, the 40 through 50 or so are games that they're going to know about, maybe other people might not. But then right after that, you get to like those games that are just universally liked, the Ticket to Rides and the Carcassones and all that. But usually people's first, second, third games are unique enough and sort of different enough to speak to them very deeply. Like everyone seems to like Ticket to Ride. But A game has to have a little something to it, some rough edges to make you love it, usually. You know what I mean?
So why do you like such a generic game for your top game?
Ooh.
I don't know, but I liked it when it came out. You know what I mean? Before it was popular.
I
was about to say that like before it was cool.
Before it was cool, yeah.
He's hooked.
All right, so Logan says if you could attend one convention in 2019 with all things being equal.
Well, if they're all equal,
you
then
mean
it doesn't matter.
No, I'm sorry, like equal travel time between. No, he wants
Kidding.
to. No, he wants to know us to compare Origins and PAX Unplugged.
Oh.
I would go to PAX Unplugged.
I would too. Philly is. I'm sorry, Columbus, but Philly is a better town for a convention. I think.
Origins might have better hotel situation. Columbus. There was more hotels attached to the convention center.
All right, I can see that.
Philly, food-wise, I think beats Columbus, and that's what's raving about Columbus for a while.
I think it beats Columbus in almost every aspect. I mean, for me at least, there's the historical draw, there's the touristy draw that Columbus just lacks largely. Philadelphia has
Columbus
so
is a newer
much,
city, I guess, but yeah.
so much history to it, and there's so many other things that you can do if you want to take a break from the convention for a day or just a few hours. You can, within walking distance, Independence Hall, the Constitution, or not the Constitution, but the one that's right down there.
Declaration of Independence.
Yeah, I mean, just everything.
Heard of it.
Such a troll. Everything is right there, and it's just a completely better experience all around.
But okay, so forgetting all that, what about the conventions themselves? They are fairly different conventions, I feel. Which one has a better exhibition hall?
I was just thinking they were very similar. I mean, it used to be that
They
Origins...
really feel similar to me still, too. I don't know.
Origins exhibition hall used to be a lot better before they split it up.
Yeah, I didn't like that split thing at all.
Do they still do that whole, they open one day, but only part of it, and then the next day the other part's open? I don't like that. That's another thing that I just find sort of unwarranted.
Another thing that PAX does that Origins doesn't is that the open gaming area is free. You don't have to pay for it at PAX. You have to pay for it at Origins.
However, I mean, I agree on that, but I'm just trying to speak to, I think Origins, it's easier to get into a game with people you don't know because you can sign up for events. PAX, I've seen some complaints about PAX where to go to an event, the only way to go to an event is you just go, but you have to stand in line. So if you're going to go to an event, you got to stand in line for an hour. Some people would rather pay for a ticket and just go.
Know that you're there. Well, I think that might be something that PAX adopts.
That's valid.
It might be something that PAX adopts.
I don't think so because they do this. They've been doing this for a decade at their other shows.
Okay.
So I don't think they'll change it. And there's benefits to both. Like,
sure, but if they have enough people complaining about it, they might change it for the one.
I don't think there is enough people complaining about it because some people. I mean, like, look at San Diego Comic-Con. That's how that works, right? I don't know that there's a good way to do it because the whole standing in line means if I want to go to something, I can. I just have to get there early enough. I can do it.
Right.
If the tickets go on sale and I don't click the button at the right time, I can't get in.
Right.
And also, Origins nickels and dimes people to death, so there's that too.
Right.
We'll see. There's a new director of Origins, John Stacy, so we'll see if things get changed. And who knows? Maybe Origins will change this year.
Yeah.
Let's see. Blah, blah, blah. For the person who asked, what's the hobby going to be like in 5-10 years? We can never answer that question because we're barely correct on 1 year.
Yeah, but really, I mean, think about it. 5 to 10 years ago, would you have expected the hobby to be where it is now 5 to 10 years ago?
Some aspects maybe, but not many. I mean, 5 years ago, Asmodee bought Fantasy Flight. Okay, I remember that happened 5 years ago. I wouldn't have guessed that Christian Peterson was leaving, and that I wouldn't have guessed that there would have been a rise of different games and companies, and it's just a lot of guesswork.
Yeah.
I'll say there'll be a lot of games published in 5 years.
That's a fairly safe bet.
Are we planning to do a top 10 pop culture things in 2018? Probably not, but we could talk about them. Like, right, what was your favorite movie of 2018?
Probably
Which ones
Infinity
came
War.
out?
I mean, that was 2018, right? My memory sucks.
Yes.
Okay. But I did see one of the few movies I saw this year at the movie theater was the the one that just won the Golden Globes Best Movie of the Year, the Bohemian Rhapsody movie.
Oh, you liked it?
Yeah, I thought it was great. Though I did read it apparently is the worst reviewed, critically reviewed winner of the best movie from the Golden Globes in like 13 years or something.
Wow.
Cool.
Which is like,
I don't care what critics think.
Yeah, I don't care
Critics,
either. But
people who review stuff, they're the worst.
they are usually they don't know what. Hold on, I sense a trap.
Infinity War was my favorite, although I really enjoyed all 4 Marvel movies.
There were 4.
Well, if you count Spider-Man.
I don't. Marvel Cinematic
You mean
Universe.
Homecoming or Spider-Verse?
Spider-Verse.
Homecoming was last year, right?
Yeah, no, I like Infinity War was fantastic.
Yes.
It better have a good second half.
Yes.
Black Panther was really good.
Yes.
Ant-Man and Wasp was good. I don't know that
All right,
will make my top half of the Marvel movies.
Sure.
But it was solid. My biggest problem with Ant-Man and Wasp was they spoiled like half the jokes in the trailer.
Yeah.
But Spider-Verse was amazing. I actually like Spider-Verse. That might be my favorite animated movie ever. Like, ever.
Ugh. It gave me a headache.
And that won the best animated in the Golden Globes.
Mm-hmm. Still need to see it. I have not seen it. Normally, that would have been a lock. A few years ago, that's something that changed. A few years ago, if a Pixar movie came out, that was it.
Yeah, it's true. What was the
That was
Pixar movie this year?
Incredibles 2.
That did not, like, blow the doors down like
I
they
guess so.
thought.
I did not see it either. Did anyone see it?
They waited too long. They waited too long to make that movie.
No, I almost rented it the other day on Amazon. I was like, nah, I'll go watch an old movie instead. It just,
Yeah.
I will eventually watch it. TV shows and stuff, I don't know. I haven't watched a whole lot. Would the Stranger Things season 2 come out this year?
I don't know.
Yes. Yeah, early on, wasn't it? That was 2017?
That was last year, yeah.
So they haven't come out with Stranger Things 3 yet?
It's been announced, but it's
Well, yeah, well, that's like
It's
water.
been
It's
announced,
wet.
yeah.
Huh.
Water,
coming in the
what,
summer,
yeah.
I think.
I don't watch a whole lot of TV. I guess I saw a couple of older shows, but I haven't finished them, of course. So I started watching The Strain, which is a vampire series. That's cool.
That's old.
Huh?
That's old.
Hey, Kat, I'm behind the ball, all right?
It's like 3.
Oh, 3 years old is
3 or
old.
no, it's like
oh,
3
I
or
don't
4
play
years
any
old.
games from the early 2000s. Shut up.
Someone said, like, have we ever done a top 10 games we hated on but ended up loving? I don't even know if
There
I could
aren't
get
10. I
10
can't
of
get to
those.
10. That's the problem, yeah.
There have been games that I've started playing and said, nah, it's not bad, and then really liked it as time went by.
Sure.
I don't know that I've ever gone to a game where I hated it and then loved it. That's a really far
No.
maneuver.
Yeah.
You have said that before. You've had some games you loved that you ended up hating, mostly because you played them ad nauseum.
Well, yeah.
Nice.
I used to like Dominion.
I used it correctly.
Yeah.
Was on my
Ad
calendar this morning.
nauseum.
I liked it.
Let's see here. Are there game libraries out there? No. Do you see board games continuing to rise in popularity to the point of being as mainstream as video games?
No.
No, yeah, not video games.
I don't think so. I mean, I think board games are becoming more and more in mainstream to the point where when I tell someone what I do now, it's not always shock. It's
Yeah.
not always like Monopoly.
Mm-hmm.
But
No, but you still get the look like, oh, that's weird.
yeah.
I get that a lot.
Yeah, sure.
Well, the weird thing is always when you say, I'm going to a convention. Now, for me, it's easier because I'm going to work at a convention. But if you said, I'm going to a convention to play board games for 5 days, people are like, oh, that's nice.
Hope no one raids your house looking for the bodies while you're gone.
Yeah, it's, thanks.
My goodness.
Sam, cut it out with the phone.
All right. What's the hot game of the con? What con?
Give you a little piece of paper to play with, okay?
Oh, my goodness. Says Sam and Zee, you both
Weird.
love Raptor. Have either of you played Dos de Mayo?
I haven't, but I did see at Walmart the other day Dos,
That means
the sequel to Uno.
Did you think about buying it?
That means
I did.
that means
I picked it up. I took a
second.
photo. I was gonna do something with it, but I didn't. I was like, no. Put it right back. I thought about it.
You
yeah.
may have played it back in the day. I can't remember. It's been out
I
for a
think you
while.
and I played it.
Yeah, I have a really nice version of Dos de Mayo. It's
2 de Mayo.
May 2nd, okay?
May 2nd. May 2nd doesn't sound as
No, it doesn't.
epic. You're like, hey, you guys want to play May 2nd?
Is this the year, Fred wants to know, that people get burnt out on too much Kickstarter? Actually, I think we're already starting to see a little bit of that, but I think Kickstarter is kind of a churning thing. Like, for every person who's like, oh, I'm done with Kickstarter, there's 2 more people who are like, hey, I'm in
No,
it.
but I mean, there's even people that are like,
It's that old saying, there's a backer born every minute.
I mean, it's like people.
There's a backer
People are
born
literally
every
like,
minute.
oh, I don't want to do this anymore. Oh, look at those minis.
How did they fit that many tentacles on that? Click.
I will say that I think there's starting to get to be some. The Kickstarter has evolved a little bit, where everyone knows late pledges are possible.
Well, we've also basically done away completely with the pretense that it's not a pre-order system.
Oh, claustrophobia just.
They were just like, listen, y'all, we're done pretending. The games are made. They're in this warehouse right over here. You want one? Back it. You know what we're saying. Back it. We'll send it to you in like literally 2 months after you help us fund it. Click it.
It's true.
Yes.
You know, it's just we've given up, but that's it.
It's not even a P500 system or anything like that anymore. It's just.
That was hilarious. That game.
That's kind of a shaded view of a possibly good thing. It means that companies are able to produce things now that they weren't able to produce a couple years ago.
Sure.
And they're able to do it with their own capital, but now you're just basically making sure you get one, rather than waiting for it to come out in the store and it possibly running out of.
Yeah, and it's fine. I don't care how they want. You know, if the company wants the money up front, and people are willing to give it to them, and even though they might not need it, then go for it. That's fine. You know, it's those people's money. But the original concept, the driving force behind what it was, seems to be largely gone.
Help us make this thing
keep
work. Yeah.
going, or help us do this thing, or we have an idea we'd like to manufacture, but we can't.
Yeah, but I'm also saying that I think that because of that, people are, again, we're seeing Kickstarter evolve. First, we saw we saw stretch goals and add-ons and things. Now we're seeing this late pledge thing. People are like, oh, you missed a Kickstarter? Don't worry, the late pledge has been running for the last decade.
Yes.
You know, you can still get in on it. And it's just that I'm finding that interesting, and just we're also seeing a lot of Kickstarters say, hey, guess what? You're only going to get it from us.
Yes, that's
and
true.
a lot of Batman, only way to get that was the Kickstarter. Claustrophobia, only way to get that was Kickstarter. Seventh Continent, same way. And stores are not happy with this situation, but I don't see it changing.
Right.
Because the Kickstarters are doing well enough that if you can avoid these middlemen, if someone wants to say what's going to happen in 5 to 10 years, we're going to see a complete revamping of the distribution structure.
How much money are they saving by cutting out distributors and all the other middle guys between them?
I don't know, though.
Well, I know, but that was a rhetorical question, basically, because there's no way that you could know, I guess, unless you were part of one of those
I would be very hesitant to say that cutting out the middleman saves you oodles of money, because if it was really that good, why hasn't it been done more?
Well,
now if Tim Fowers was here, he'd dive through the door like, distributors are the worst!
Let me tell you. No, but I mean, seriously, we see more people doing it, so it's got to be, I think it's got to be a significant amount of money, whether it's a whole truckload or whether it's just half a truckload.
No, I think it's a significant amount of money. I'm just not sure that the money is worth all the extra stuff. But we're seeing a bunch of middlemen. Quartermaster Logistics, Fun Again's branch, and a few others are coming up and saying, hey, we'll do this for you. Give us your game, we'll send it directly to the backers.
Right.
My only concern about this, and it's something I've been saying for a while, is the onus this puts on people is tough. Because it's like, you need to get this game now. Get the game now, or forever never get it until we do our second print run.
FOMO.
But get it now, and you really have no way of knowing. A bunch of paid for Kickstarter previews that are all going to be positive. A bunch of people who are going to say, it's great, get it!
Right.
I need you to back it so I can get an extra miniature, which is what the stretch goals are.
Yes, right.
And so we're seeing some of these big ones. People finally get them, and they're just, it's like, oh, this game isn't really that good. But I had to back it because I missed out on Seventh Continent and, claustrophobia. Supposedly, that's that, right? Mm-hmm. Although I would argue they'll do a second one.
I guess from the consumer point of view, though, that's not necessarily a bad thing if you want to do the legwork. And if you don't like the game, you will probably be able to find somebody to pay as much or more than you did for it.
Unless it's a bomb.
Right.
Yeah, but that is extra work, again, put on you. That's the problem. Cutting out all those steps of the process. Just going from we make it, you buy it. Just having that means that first part, those people might have no idea what they're doing when it comes to the logistics of making this thing and shipping it. We've seen that. And then on the back end, you buy it. Yeah, you're also buying it based on some images, sometimes just 3D renderings of things, right? And that's it, not a whole lot else. Then it's on you then if it's a bad thing and you want to move it. Then you got to sell it or you got to find a way to put it somewhere and get offers on it. So, cutting out those steps in between does lead to impulse decisions on both ends.
But we're also seeing where people are getting this huge amount of stuff, and they only play with a small percentage of it.
Sure, but they get to own it all. That can be fun.
All right, what is all of y'all's music history, says Mr. Noel. Is there any band geeks, choir nerds, orc dorks?
Dorks?
I've never heard of orc dorks before.
Like orchestra dorks.
Yes, is that a term?
No.
Yeah, it is now.
Or I like it, orc dorks.
No, I don't have any.
Sam's too cool for that, man. He was something that
you were in a band, weren't you?
Yeah, I guess so.
That's music?
Yeah, it is. I was in a band in high
what
school.
rhymes with band, that's a cool word. Because it's, you're not going to be an orc dork.
Sand.
Ayn Rand.
No.
She was cool, come on.
Yeah, all right.
Everybody likes her novels.
Look.
No, what? Everyone likes her novels? They're super controversial.
Anyway, Sam was too cool. He was in bands and stuff, playing the guitar.
I was lead singer.
And then Tom...
Rhythm guitars.
I don't know.
He was in Hair.
I had hair.
Oh!
You were also in a production.
You were in Hair, don't lie.
Yes. I
long, luxurious.
I had a beard. I had my own beard and a wig. A lovely wig.
And every night when he took it off, he wept.
I would try to stretch my beard up to my head.
That's really bad if you were combing your beard up over here.
Oh, man.
Comb over from the beard. And then I would draw a white circle over here and a black. I would look like a big yin yang.
My goodness.
Yeah, no, I've done musical theater. I did a few things. Hair, being one of them. And what else did I do?
Fiddler on the Roof.
No.
Rent.
Huh?
Rent.
No, I've done bits from Rent. I never did a production of Rent.
Mary Poppins. Just making stuff up now.
Bohemian Rhapsody. We're just making up movies that have music. A Star is Born. No, I did. Why am I forgetting the name?
I don't know. I didn't go watch
one with
any
the
of
Nazis in it. The
Sound of Music.
No,
but that does have Nazis. No, he's Springtime for Hitler. No, that's the name.
Springtime for Hitler.
No, that's the name of the musical.
No, not the funny one. The Cabaret. Jeez. Oh my goodness, Cabaret.
That has Nazis in it?
Yes.
Cabaret has Nazis in it?
I don't know if I've ever seen Cabaret now.
The one from Chicago. Oh, I'm thinking about Chicago. Never mind.
All right. I was...
Anyway, a few things.
I sang in choirs. That's it. Let's see here. Will we have a meetup at PAX at Shady Maple for 2019? That's so far in the future, so probably not, actually. These guys were not as enthralled with Shady Maple as I was.
It wasn't neither shady nor were there maples.
There was probably maples there.
I felt misled. I'm just saying. I had my machete on me. I was like, it's gonna be shady. Nothing. Everybody was super nice. It was brightly lit. I was just misled.
Has anyone here done the Bandersnatch Black Mirror on Netflix?
Not yet, but it's on my to-do list.
It is, and every night I'm like, I don't got time right now.
It sounds like it's an investment in time. Yeah.
Like most of the
I heard
stuff
it was
that I
like 4
watch,
hours.
I like watch out of the corner of my eye. I'm doing something else.
Yeah,
This
yeah.
seems like you got to be involved with it. So
I too like not paying attention.
It looks a bit horrific to me, so too much for my taste.
Come on, cat.
It's about 90 minutes till you reach an ending. Like that's the
Oh, it's about 90 minutes until you reach an ending. Okay.
Well, in game times, that's a little bit long for you.
most disappointing board game of 2018. I'd have to go back and look through my list.
Yeah, that's not something I have on
Feudum, maybe?
ready from the hip.
Feudum was pretty disappointing.
I have no idea, man. Sorry. Yeah.
Nah, I don't either.
I could pick something.
Do you guys
random.
house rule much or stick to the rules?
I like to stick to the rules myself. Actually, I did a Talking Tower episode talking about house rules. If you want to check that out, I'll just be repeating myself. But
Well, I wasn't in that show or watched it, but
I figured. But I just wanted to plug it. It's your channel. I won't if you don't want me to.
no.
Be quiet.
The one I always comes to my mind that I always do is the Carcassonne one, where you
the
draw the
ahead
tile at
of
the end
time?
of your turn.
Yeah.
Why would you break that game like that?
Yeah, I know. I even teach new people to play that. It was pretty funny. There was a couple I was teaching them Carcassonne. They had never played before, so I was teaching them Carcassonne, and of course I had to look up the rules for farmers because I'm never quite sure.
Well, technically, aren't they a variant now?
They are, and I realized as I was teaching, like maybe I shouldn't even teach farmers.
Yeah.
Nah, they're not so hard now. Now it's like 3 points for each city.
Mm-hmm.
It's always different, I think. Anyway,
It's only changed one time.
I was teaching them this, and then the lady's like, "Wait a minute, those things in your tire are the same things in the game."
No!
Well, she didn't say that.
She was
thought it loud
thinking
enough. I heard it
it.
over here.
But I taught them with the draw tile at the end of your turn because, again, it just
That's a
makes so
no-brainer.
much sense.
Yeah,
Um,
gives you time to think about it.
I also always play Coliseum with open trading.
Yep.
What else do I
Which some
house
people
rule?
really don't like. I
Cosmic
think.
Encounter, I always play where you pick your powers from 3. That's not the official rule. I've always done it that way.
I guess the only house ruling type stuff I usually do is in games where you select characters or anything like that. I just don't care to know what the rule is.
Well, you've got that house rule in that Witches of Salem that it
That's
says
true,
you're not supposed
that
to
one.
talk to people, but you say that just do it.
Because it's dumb, yeah. And it's a cooperative game, and it's honestly just as difficult ignoring that rule. In that one, you're supposed to like look at whether there's a gate that needs to be sealed to the other world or whatever, and you're not supposed to tell anybody.
Because in real life, you wouldn't. So I'd be like, "Hey, what's
Well,
behind
you're
that
not-
door?"
Well, unless there's like
None of your business.
I can even
there's, like,
understand, like, if they had said, like,
geographical-
if you are not with someone, you
Right.
can tell.
Right, yeah.
Until you're sharing a space. Okay, you know what? I would
yeah,
buy
yeah.
that. That'd be okay. But even if you're in the same space, you're not supposed to tell people. And then, yet, they say, sort of, if someone's about to do something, you can be like, So it's like, you are... it's just stupid. It's an ill-conceived rule. So I just ignore it. I literally just flip the tile on the board.
One of Zee's favorite thing is ambiguous communication.
I do hate that.
I usually
hate that.
usually try to stay with the rules like you, but if there's just something that doesn't make sense, then we usually change it.
Have you mixed Hiroshima Hex with Monolith Arena yet?
No. Actually, I don't know if the tiles are the same size. I think the Monolith Arena tiles might be slightly larger.
Huh. That would be an unfortunate circumstance.
Well, they're not really mixable, I think.
Well, why wouldn't you be able to mix them?
Because theme. No, actually, I don't know. Maybe you can. I haven't tried. I haven't even thought of it. That would be... I don't like that kind of stuff, mixing games where the graphic designs don't match.
This is not a setup, this next question, but TJ says it seems like most contributors, not you guys, always love all the hot new games without flaw. Do you think they're afraid to speak their mind honestly? It can come off as fake sometimes. So I'm not setting this up to be like, yes, we are better than everyone else. But I think when you play new games, you play games that you really like, you don't tend to see flaws, and they may not even be flaws to you. Like, someone was saying one time, like, every game has its flaws. I don't know that I agree with that. There are lots of games I play, and I don't sit there and go, well, I like the game except for whatever. Most of the games that are in my top 100, I like them, pretty much everything about them.
Well, when you play new games, even us, when we get, like, we're still waiting on our Essen Hall to get here. But even then, what are we going to do?
Now I'm going to be sad the rest of the Q&A.
Thanks,
What are we going to do when that thing gets here? We're going to go through and we're going to pick out all the games that do what? That appeal to us.
Yeah.
Sure.
Off the bat.
Right.
So when you play new games, you're going to be playing, more often than not, games that you think you're going to like. And if that's even partially true, you're going to say that you like the game. But I don't think it's somebody that's being, other contributors that seem to like all of these new games and they like all of them. I don't know that they're being dishonest about it. I just think that they're talking about or they're reviewing games that they thought they were going to like, and unless that's like really false, like they were really disappointed about it, they're going to say they like it because they want to.
Sure.
So I don't think they're being dishonest about it. I just think that that's how normal people are. They're going to gravitate towards things that they like or think they're going to like, and if they don't hate it, they're going to say they like it.
Yeah, you can still point out things you didn't like.
Right.
You'll probably
And I will try to do that, and I encourage that on our show to, hey, if you don't like something, let's call it out. But I'm not going to ever call out someone for being positive. Again, that's one thing I'm always saying, that if you are finding more flaws in board games and disliking more games than you like, you shouldn't be a board game reviewer because it'd be a terrible life.
Right.
I should like more things than not. Mm-hmm. And we're also at the point where after a while you can tell. I mean, I was showing Zee a game today again that you will not have to play that game,
right,
to know if you will like it or not.
Sure.
All right, this is an interesting question. Jacob wants to know which publisher had your favorite booth in 2018. So going back through the conventions, what was your favorite booth?
Jeez.
Chip Theory had a pretty cool booth that you went inside.
That's true.
What did they have?
It was like an inside. You like went in and went through, and it just felt like an inside booth inside a convention. I like that.
And it was all kind of stylized around their Too Many Bones motif, I guess.
The best booths are usually at Essen. Essen booths are like.
Yeah, they are really good.
Well, in Hall 3 anyway.
Yeah.
Once you get to Hall 7.
Well, I also like at Gen Con the
Upper Deck.
Yeah, Upper Deck always really decks out their booth.
What did they do this year? I don't even remember.
No, this year wasn't. This year I
don't remember what they did, but they've done things like the Predator in the past when they came out with Legendary Encounters.
My favorite was when they did the Big Trouble in Little China. They brought in a tractor trailer.
They had the Pork Chop Express there. That was really cool.
Yeah. So I'm usually impressed by them. I don't remember what they did this year. Who else does cool booths?
Okay, so
I like seeing from the guys that make the game inserts. They have that cool...
Broken Token has a great booth.
Broken Token has that cool design, and they have like a big dice tower built into the side.
They also have like custom booths. They like the drawers and all. Mm-hmm. When you go there, they just look very professional. They're like,
Right.
That's true. The other one, the one that did the big hammer for you.
Oh, Dogmite.
Dogmite. They always have a really nice built-in booth, too.
They do.
What's amazing about Dogmite is we were across from them one year at Gen Con.
That's right.
And they had that booth down in like 20 minutes. It was amazing. I thought it would be much harder to put that thing together. We know this because we sat there for 2.5 hours waiting to get a table taken away.
That's right.
You remember that?
I do. That's where Jason discovered fidget spinners.
Yes, it was great.
That's right. I remember
Mike Parkinson just brought like 20 fidget spinners for no reason. He just did. And he gave us all one.
I think he found a deal at a booth that was shutting down or something like that. I think that's
so he gave everyone fidget spinners, and we were like, oh, that's kind of cool. And Jason was like, what is this?
Oh, man.
So what do you think of games like Suburbia Collector's Edition? It's $100. Do you feel like games are getting more expensive? We're certainly seeing games get more expensive.
That's called inflation. Sorry.
My rent goes up every year. I don't understand why people
my mortgage payment just went up this month. So
I don't understand why people are like surprised when games go up in cost.
Right.
However, I do get what you're saying. A lot of games are coming out in big deluxe versions that are very expensive. Again, then that's on you to be more picky about which ones you get. You don't need to get the big deluxe version of every single game.
And not every game needs a big deluxe version.
Well, I am looking forward to the Suburbia one. Has a little tower with the tiles you pull out.
Does it?
And the artwork
See, I
looks better.
myself,
You didn't
I'm
like
still-
the artwork.
I'm still waiting to play. I've seen it, but I haven't played it. Though, again, do I really need to? I don't know. The Pandemic fancy schmancy box, you know.
It just came out.
Huh?
You talk about the one that just came out?
Yeah, the new Pandemic Deluxe or whatever.
Saw it on sale at Cool Stuff
I
last
did
night.
as well. I did as well. So I'm thinking. So again, I don't want to come down on one side or the other too much yet. I technically have not played that version, okay? But it did not, from glancing at it, seem to be a $100 game.
No, but at the same time, you do get, like, you just got Deep Madness, and you liked having all that stuff. The expansions and all that. Well, that's well over $100 to get all that stuff.
Pay that money.
Sure, but what
for
are
it.
we talking about? Because I was talking about Pandemic being the same base game.
Oh, I'm saying, but no, well, a lot of these games are big, deluxe. Like, you get them and you get all these expansions and modules and things.
Oh, I
That's
think
expensive.
he thought you were talking about games that have a basic core box and then they have a deluxe version of the base game.
Yeah, but a lot of these, that's rare. There's only a few of them. I think the Suburbia one has the expansions in it and has more stuff. I don't know
Which
that
is nice. Then you're getting like a master edition with everything in it. That's like a big box edition.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but those are still not cheap.
That's fun, but you're getting a lot. This Pandemic box has just Pandemic.
Yeah, but there's only a
Even
few
the first
games that do that.
expansion's not in there. There's nothing extra.
That's
Really?
There's
Yeah.
nothing else. It's the base game.
That was a faux pas.
It's
Ooh,
that
we're
case.
dropping that like ad nauseum faux pas. What is happening today? Y'all are learning cats. Oh man, I gotta come up with a little something.
Still, some.
Let me think about this. Hold on. I'm
Wow,
thinking.
we are like
ad
20 minutes behind on
infinitum.
questions. All right. I'm looking for some interesting questions here. Let's see. Not that your questions,
Wow.
I'm skipping our.
Ooh,
Tom
ooh.
Basil says
Bah, bah,
questions
shots fired.
are not
Bah,
worthy.
bah.
What kind of music did your band play, Sam?
No, it was no. It was basically 80s rock and 80s and 90s rock, heavy
You
metal.
call it 80s and 90s rock.
No, our band name
That'd be
was
funny if a band starts now and like, yeah, we're
80, 90 rock.
late 2010s rock. It's like, wait,
No.
so like now rock.
Our band name was Outcry, and it was a 4-person band. So I was lead vocals, rhythm guitars. We had a lead guitarist, a bassist, and a drummer.
What's the name of it? I'm gonna look for reviews.
No, they're not gonna be there.
Reviews.
Our biggest gig was the after party at the Special Olympics at the base we were at. That was the biggest gig we ever had.
Well, that's a gig, right?
That's cool.
did you
That's
feel-
cool.
It must have felt
we
like
didn't
pretty
get
cool.
we didn't get paid for it. Don't get me
You're a
wrong.
musician. You shouldn't expect to get paid.
That's true.
All right. Does
Man,
art
gotta
or
get paid.
theme ever turn you off to the point that you dread playing or reviewing a game?
Yes.
All the time.
Yes.
Absolutely.
We'll get a game in and we're like, oh.
Oh, yes. Yes.
And the
no
game
doubt.
might be good, but we are now at the point where every year I get less forgiving on it because there's more and more good art. So when the bad ones come in, you're like, yeah.
Well, it's a twofold thing. There is more and more good art. There are more companies that have access to better resources, but also you've played more games at that point.
Was it theme or artwork that the question was talking about? Just artwork?
It said both.
Oh, okay.
Theme for sure, because it just is not a theme you're interested in or
That's
a theme
just-
you're
yeah,
opposed
that's just
to.
a
I'm
personal
more
preference, yeah.
more forgiving on artwork than I am on theme, I think, because there are just some themes that I'm like, who thought that was a good idea?
Sure.
You know. But I mean, if a game has a good, not even necessarily a good, it's just one that I like or think I will like, I'll be more forgiving on the artwork. But sometimes, yeah, the artwork is just completely.
I'm sorry, just enjoy a game. Everything else being equal, if the game is prettier,
It's more fun.
again, in my opinion,
That's
I
what
know
I-
that it's all subjective.
That's how I like to say it.
I'm just going to have more fun with that.
Games that look good are more fun to play. Period.
Sure. I don't understand why that's. I mean, I'll go back. That's the one thing I don't understand about when someone says they like a game or not, but when someone comes and says, this game looks good enough, and they're basically pushing pieces of paper around. I don't understand that mindset.
I agree.
I accept that it exists.
I don't get it. It's like walking into the video store and being like, okay, so Blu-ray, I want to buy that VHS of the same movie instead.
No, Betamax.
Betamax, well, you won't have the equipment, but the VHS, because I want that grain. I want to really not be able to tell what's happening. Like, if there's a sign, I don't want to be able to read it.
But it's the same
You know what
thing.
I mean?
It's the same thing, though, as do you want to buy a record or do you want to buy a CD? Or do you want the digital?
That's true. A lot of people are like, oh,
A lot of people are the
LPs.
same.
I don't think anybody's like a VHS connoisseur. Maybe, but is there
No,
anybody
but I
out there who like walks by the Blu-rays and is like, huh, turns up their nose and keeps going? I mean,
I guarantee you there's somebody. There are people who are complaining that they're like too good, that they're too crisp, and that they like.
Yeah.
I will agree with that kind of. I remember I walked into this is dating me, I guess, a little bit, a Circuit City.
What is that store?
They're definitely gone, right? Circuit City?
Circuit City?
Yeah.
What's a circuit?
What saucer is this?
I walked into one and there was a movie playing. I remember Jack Black was in it. I forget what the movie was.
They're
And
all the same.
It
Year one.
looked too good. Like the TV was too good. As in, it looked like it was like I was watching dailies from a movie instead of the finished product. It didn't have that like movie sheen on it.
Sure.
It looked like a home video.
A lot of people complain about that.
Yeah, and it was like,
I've gotten used to that
it
though.
looks too real. It was freaky.
No, yeah.
But I bet
I
you
don't
got
like that look.
No, but I bet you gotten used to it.
I don't think I've ever seen that again.
No, you think all movies look that way.
Maybe my TV's 10 years old. You don't know, man. I'm going to go home and play records tonight. Don't judge me.
Get a black and white TV. I know that.
Betamax.
That was something my daughter got
All
for
right.
Christmas this year was
Betamax?
No, record player.
Really?
Yeah.
But it's one of those cool ones, right?
And a stack of old school
All
records.
right. That's cool. I get it.
She loves that stuff. So
Who is the reviewer whose opinion you trust the most other than your own?
Oh, dang it. They had to put that part in there.
I always trust my own opinion.
If you didn't answer that way, people be like, well, I'm kind of suspect.
Wow.
I want to say Efka, but there's some reviews that he and I have highly disagreed on. I mean, I trust most reviews. I trust them. I watch enough of their stuff that I can tell.
Yeah, it's all about like whether those people's tastes line up with yours.
Is that what we're asking? Because if it's like sheer trust.
I trust them all. I'm pretty sure none of them are out there lying to me when I watch their videos.
All right, so let's pretend it's like which one matches your taste the best?
Oh, man.
Probably Efka for me, no pun included.
I honestly find it much more
I just
easy
enjoy watching
to...
his videos. His videos are.
He got
are
murdered
usually
in the
very-
last one. In Root, he got murdered.
No,
I find it a lot easier to find people whose tastes I know are basically the polar opposite of me. I can go from that. That seems kind of weird because it's not helping me find new games.
So
but,
Sam,
huh?
he
So
watches
Sam?
a lot of. He
No,
watches
no,
a lot of your videos.
No, he doesn't. Can almost
trying to
guarantee
think
that.
who likes the same kind of games I like. Man, I don't know. I know the brothers, like the brothers Murphy.
They're just fun to watch. Period.
Their taste in games is very similar to mine. Actually,
Yes.
they don't really do reviews, I guess.
Which of the three is the most critical of games?
Me?
You think me? More than Z? It's not you. You're the least. I mean,
yeah, I'm
you're
more.
the
I'm more the.
nicest.
I'm more the Omni gamer. Yeah, that's true.
Not that you're an Omni gamer, but you
No.
you tend to not hate on a game as much as we will.
It's probably me.
Because
I play more games than he does.
What are you trying to say, Kat?
Yeah, but at the same time, he doesn't throw games off of a building
No.
or into a trash
Yeah,
can.
that is mainly because I'm afraid of heights.
or smash him with a hammer.
You don't know.
I haven't smashed a bad game with a hammer, have I?
Do you
do
not
like
watch the end of
wrecking.
your videos? I know you do it in here. We
Thanks,
hear
Tom.
it.
Yeah, but I'm
We do
not.
hear
At the
it
other
out
end of the
there,
house.
we hear you cackling like an evil wizard.
Yes. I mean,
I'm
come
pretty-
on.
That is true. I do
We're
laugh a
pretty
little.
sure you're back here casting spells sometimes.
Yes, exactly.
The lights do zzz in the
no.
house.
What's he reviewing?
Let's see. Blah, blah, blah. People are talking about
Yes.
reviews. Where'd the Gugong review go? I don't think it went anywhere. It hasn't gone up yet, has it?
He's been working on the Goo Gong review all the Goo Gong days.
The 16th is when it's going up.
Is it Gugong or Zhugong? Or
Gugong is the thing you put on when there's like that sticky stuff and
Goo Gone. Oh, Googone.
Gooby gone. Yeah.
Yeah, Gooby Gone.
All right. How often do you go to your local libraries? Do any of them have board game groups? No, I don't think they have board game groups. I take my kids to the library, and every once in a while I'll walk in and look around, but usually when my kids are there. And then I'm like, libraries are not useful for me anymore. I can just I can go read samples of books online and then just get the book for a fairly inexpensive price.
Last time I took my kids to the library, they spent maybe 15 minutes in the book section, and then they saw that they had a video rental section, and they went right there.
Come on, Cat.
The one thing that surprised me...
I'm just saying, that's what happened.
This might be just Miami. I don't know if it's all around the country. But libraries no longer, at least here, do not have that shh.
No, they don't.
Our libraries are not quiet down here at all.
Right.
And half the people in them are surfing the net.
Yep.
There's a whole computer section, and people are there, and then there's kids running around, looking at books and yelling, and the librarians are not even being quiet. Again, maybe this is... And our library does a lot of, like... Over the summer, especially, they'll have people come in and
not that.
A guy was like, "Hey, just things like I went and watched guys play steel drums. They came in and showed it out to the kids, which was really fascinating for about a minute. But it was like 30. But
I mean, I just think that's more our area, though. I know that there's other libraries that are around. I mean, we've been to one in Texas that was the West Texas Tabletop Con.
Gorgeous library.
It was an amazing library.
But libraries are slowly fading off the scene, for sure.
It's hard to compete.
The internet has so much information. I don't need to go to the library to research stuff anymore.
Right.
I know you can argue that you should go to the library and research, but if I was a teenager, I'd be like, Dad, I got it.
Yeah. Read more, kids.
I do read a lot of books. When you open a new game,
yes,
do you dive straight into rules?
Hold on, give me a second. Go ahead.
Do you dive straight into the rules?
Visualizing.
Or do you like to look through the components and check out the art?
I usually try to read what the objective of the game is first.
I always look at the stuff. Well, we do unboxing, so that's not really.
And that's what I usually do on my unboxings. I look through and I look through the rulebook first, and then I put it aside, and then because it gives you an idea of what the game is like, and gives you more insight on what you're doing with the components as you look through them.
I honestly, I do that too. It's a weird thing about. It's kind of like when I eat a plate of food, I save the really good. Whatever the best thing on the plate is for later.
Oh, what you think is going to be the best thing.
Sure, and that sucks if it backfires. But that's my personality. I don't know what that means. Someone out there, a psychologist out there, just gasped loudly and was like,
"Now I know."
But so I look at the rule book first because I want to have an idea of what's going on, but also I want to save the goods.
Yeah,
that's part of it.
I mean, if I'm looking through components, I'm like, "Ooh, what does that thing do?" And then it's like, oh, it's just first person, first player. That's all that does. But if I look through it, I'm like, oh, okay, that's what that is.
Yeah,
so.
People are just people want to know like what games we hate, but we talk about games we hate a lot, don't we? I mean,
what people we hate playing games with?
There are more libraries in the U.S. than McDonald's, according to the internet.
Oh, I would agree with that. Because not every town has a McDonald's. And I would say there are more towns that have a library.
Yeah, but how many McDonald's are there per town sometimes? Like in Homestead, we have one library. I think maybe two if you count the Naranja one.
No, there's Cutler Bay has one too.
That's no longer Homestead, possibly. I don't know.
Well,
anyway, two or three, right?
How many McDonald's are in Homestead?
2 or 3.
Neither is Naranja.
How many McDonald's are in Homestead? There's the one over...
There's 2.
There's 2.
You know where they all are.
No. There's a new one over by Walmart. There's 3.
Oh, okay.
No, I've not been to them all.
Yes, you have.
Yes,
Don't
you
lie.
have.
I have kids!
I have seen you
You're not seeing
shopping,
me.
eating a Big Mac.
My daughter dropped me off last night. I had to go to a meeting, and she dropped me off in front of a McDonald's. And I said, just to clarify, I'm not eating here. And I walked right by it. Went to Arby's.
Then you waited for her to turn the corner.
Arby's is better than McDonald's.
Yeah, man.
It is.
It is good.
It's much better than
Actually, I think I've only been to Arby's once and I didn't like it.
Also more expensive. Well, you're
Well,
not a
that's
big
true.
meat connoisseur anyway.
What'd you call me?
Called
You
you a
heard
meat
me.
jerk.
Yeah, that's right.
Man, the big words are flowing today. No, you're right. I'm not.
Libraries are evolving, guys. They have a lot more than
Their
just
whole-
books for research.
their
No,
whole
I
thing
get
is,
that,
we
but I do
have
know
the
that
meats.
at least in the Miami area, they were talking about slashing the budget for libraries. I love libraries. I'm just saying that as a kid, my main reason for going to libraries was to check out books to read and to do research for projects. The
Right.
research for projects, for me, I just know that I would be lazy enough. I would stay at home and just use the internet. I know that's what I would do now, unless a teacher made me go.
And really, books you don't have to go to the library for anymore. You can get them for so cheap in
Yeah.
digital format. It's not the same as, the Dead Tree versions of the books, but it's,
I like going to
sad.
library and perusing. I love to read. I think they're evolving. There's music and stuff, and I know that they're working really hard at it. I just don't go to them as often.
I think for me, part of it is a library almost goes hand in hand with a certain speed of life. A library has a very leisurely pace to it.
well, yeah.
Even visiting one, perusing one.
Yeah.
I'm usually moving a little too fast to be like, you know what I'm going to do this afternoon is go to the library and blow a couple of hours there just sort of perusing some books. That's what it is for me. I haven't been to one in a while, honestly. And I do need to update my library card. I was actually just thinking about that a couple weeks ago. But yeah, it's been a while.
If you don't go, you don't need to update it.
Well, I still want to. Also, you can check out books online now from the local library with an app.
Yeah, you can do that, and you can.
Will
if
they
you're-
ship it to you?
No, like electronically, an ebook.
Yeah, you can just
Oh,
go
okay.
and
The E stands for electronic.
they do all kinds of cool things now. When you check out a book, if it's like overdue, you can be like, go online and quick check it out
That's
again.
true. That's true.
Oh, wow.
As long as no one else has said they want the
No
book.
one else reserved it. Yeah, yeah.
So if your kid loses the book, you can do it like 5 times and still have a file. You're like, yeah,
I found-
that book is gone.
I found a book on my shelves the other day that is an old
Is that what the
library
book is?
It might be. It's Dragons of Autumn Fire, I think, in the Dragonlance Chronicles. I checked
That's
it
a
out
great
of a
book.
book like, I don't know, like 9 years ago.
What? You still haven't finished it?
No, I paid. They sent me like a final.
Thief!
final.
Keep it.
No. They
A
said
handwritten note says, you know what?
because I
Keep
couldn't
it,
find
nerd. Dragonlance.
No, I couldn't find it anymore. I lost it literally in my house. I couldn't find it, and they sent me like a final bill. If you don't return it by this is how much you have to pay. And it turned out it would be like just like buying it from Barnes and Noble or something like
figured.
that. So I just went ahead and paid it because I didn't know where it was. I found it.
So if I want a
We'll go
book
back
and
and
I
get a
can't
refund.
find it at the bookstore somewhere, I'll borrow it from the library, then I'll lose it.
No,
Yeah,
I
we don't-
lost it.
We don't recommend that.
That sounds like a really bad
Let's
idea.
not
swear
teach
I
people to
lost
do
it.
that, okay? Don't make your library go through extra steps because of you.
Right.
Like Sam.
Didn't do it
Yeah.
on purpose.
If you want to read a Dragonlance book, just go and check it out, but then return it, or borrow it from Sam. He's got it.
It is a
This
good
person
book,
says,
though.
fun fact, there's more museums than libraries and McDonald's combined. But that's because, like, there could be Joe Schmo's Museum of Needlepoint, and that's
good,
in his
though.
house.
Did you see
You
it?
been there? Have you been to that little museum in Homestead over by...
The Homesteaders Museum
Yes.
No, but
on Chrome.
I had a
Have you been
student
there?
who used to work there, actually, but I never did go.
I drive past
I
it.
drive by and I'm like, I feel like I should go to this because it's in our town.
I'm a little creeped out to go in
Yep.
there, I'll be honest. It's just a house, right? It's very small.
Yeah.
Right.
I don't want to go in there alone. I'll put it that way.
I'm more concerned I would go in there and be
I
like,
feel like I might walk in the door. They'll be like, someone's gonna be behind the counter, like a little old person.
It does
like with
kind
like
of.
little like the half glasses, just taking down a note, and they'll look up and be like, Cuban, and I'll be like, no, I'm sorry, I'm an American citizen. I don't know, I don't know.
I'm more
Creeps
concerned
me
that
out
I
a
would
little.
go in there and it would be boring.
I
And then you're
never-
like, oh,
Then you're like standing around, yeah.
I gotta,
never-
how long do I have to stay here to make this
Like
look
when you
good?
walk into a really small mom and pop shop, if it's small enough that they can keep their eyes on you for the entirety of the store, you feel awkward leaving again.
Yeah.
You walk in and you're like, this is a bunch of crap.
But
Then
now,
you
now I'm
stay
stuck.
there literally 10 extra minutes, and then you get past the threshold where it's too awkward to leave now without buying something. You're like, oh, I always stayed.
You're looking for something cheap.
Now you got to wait for some other jerk to walk in, and when they walk in, you're like, I'm out. You like hand them the mantle, you know what I mean?
I've been there.
Yeah.
All right, sorry. What were you gonna say?
No, it's just that house I never thought about it, but it reminds me of the house, the old rundown house, the restaurant, and the Goonies. I mean,
I guess I don't remember the Goonies
the museum is nice. It's painted and
yeah, it looks good.
But it's the same kind of wooden, construction that the house, and it reminds me of that.
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
just to clarify, I love libraries. We are not criticizing them.
Oh my God.
Are we still on this?
No, I feel like some people are getting upset. I think libraries are fantastic, and I think they should be supported and they should be around. I'm just saying that life exists and technology has changed. Libraries have to evolve with it, I guess. I'm just saying that if I was a teenager, I know what I would do. That's all. I'm not saying that I would be...
I for one, support libraries completely and without...
If I was a teenager, I would still be waiting until the night before my project was due and ad-lib all of it. I probably wouldn't even go to a library to do
I'll
research
say this,
for
if
that
I
anymore.
was a teenager, I'd be going to the library more because I used to.
Yeah, but what about the internet and all? I just
Trying
know
to see
for...
if you're trolling.
No,
or
I'm
not.
serious. Like, I mean, that's true. The internet now would be different. I would have access maybe, but, maybe not. When I was a teenager, I went to the library more than I do right now.
My family
I was
goes to
less
the library
busy.
every week. We check out like 20 books, and we only lose like one.
Are they always
So
fantasy
you do it too.
books?
I would say a good chunk of my
So how many
dad
books have you
lectures this
lost?
year have been like, how is it possible that we can keep losing library books?
Really?
Put them in a pile right here. Don't touch them. Don't take them anywhere. Just get them and read them and then put them back. I'm doing it now.
Really? Losing the books?
Kids,
Yeah.
Do they
dude.
take them?
After he was just getting on me about losing.
Yeah,
the book.
man.
You're a grown man.
That's right. And I also lived in a house that had a bunch of kids in it.
So you're one of them.
No, I'm just saying it got lost.
Yeah, things get lost.
Just
man.
like things get lost in your house.
All right.
When was the last time you found a hat under a pillow or something?
Mm-hmm.
You were like, oh, there's that hat.
We got
How many times have I picked up your hat
We gotta
after
go.
you had already walked out
We
the
gotta
restaurant?
go.
What about that one time I found a tie?
Also, this
In-
is a show about board games. I promise.
Anyway, we definitely recommend that you take your kids to the library, inculcate the love of reading.
Ooh, you got one in.
I needed to.
Inculcate.
I needed to.
Actually, yeah, I think books are amazing, and I make my kids read.
That's why you read books. So
Yes, kids.
you can grow your vocabulary.
Use.
All right, we're going to be back in an hour at noon talking about our top 10 games from 99. We're going to party like it's then.
At that point, we will party.
At 98. All right, you'll see when we get there. We'll talk about it.
Yeah.
Until next time, though, I'm Tom Vassell.
I'm Zee Garcia. Keep your reading.
Sam Healy, stay in kids school.
See ya.